And if I ain't did it yet, I'll try it.
Big bank, tight, low bank, bank. Big bank, tight, low bank, bank.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. As we take a look at the starting quarterback, Deshaun Kaiser, the man who hails from Toledo, Ohio, and of course played his college ball at Notre Dame.
And he's got prototypical size, mobility, arm strength, the ability to step into throws and crank them into the seams. Can break up big chunks when play breaks down as well with his legs. Went through a really tough rookie season in 2017. He could very well have some real upward growth moving forward.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw is Kaiser. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The numbers for Fuller last week. 5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
Let's go! White 90! White 90! Flex round! Flex round! Hey, watch that, watch that. Check right, get me forward. Right, get me forward.
This is Cohen. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Buying time to his left. He's got the first down and more past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Mike's 54! Mike's 54!
Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he'll go down at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Come on, let's go! White, 90! White, 90! He's crashing! Hey! Motion!
Now Cohen. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Flex round! Flex round!
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. On the defensive side of the ball here, the starters for Denver. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now Kaiser. And that'll be incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Keith Marshall with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The numbers for Jones last week, 15 carries, 56 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
On second down, it's Jones. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But he's short.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Working from the gun, Keenum. And an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwan. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll try the air now with Keenum. And he hits his man on the out route, Demaryius Thomas. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A Bronco first down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, it's Keenum. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He completes it to Jones. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now Darkwa. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Go.
Now it's Keenum here off the bootleg. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
The dump underneath to Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, there's two sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. If it all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And here's Marshall. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Third and short yardage, Kaiser escaping the pressure right. That is caught. It's Perriman. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Kaiser on 1st down. Fuller brings it in over the